Over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of discussion surrounding the YouTuber Verbalase. He's been around on the platform for nearly 20 years, and you'll probably recognize him from any one of his animated beatboxing videos, which have been memed quite a few times over the years. Unfortunately, this time it takes it to a new level, with an animation being shown and screenshots posted from his Discord server, with some controversial comments he's been making, which I'll get into later in the video. By the way, if you do enjoy these kinds of breakdowns, be sure to subscribe to keep up to date. Anyway, moving into today's video. All this came out on Verbalase's birthday, that being him paying nearly $50,000 to have a 3-minute video created of him effectively just being assaulted by Charlie from Hazbin Hotel. I unfortunately can't show a lot of this on YouTube due to the later half of the video, but I'm sure you can get the gist of what's going on. It turns out someone actually showed vivzie this video, and she replied under a tweet with a gif with the caption, "Laughing nervously, what the hell." There's been non-stop memes all over my timeline about it, and even the idea that he's gone bankrupt because of this video has been spread around as well. There's not been any proof of this specifically, the only thing he's confirmed as being true is that he spent $47,000 on it in total, but I can't imagine why he'd post a video asking for support and then drop that much money on this instead of putting it towards something that would actually make him more money and be a worthwhile investment. The fact that this guy is 40 years old really doesn't help his case either. So far, his wiki has also been wiped multiple times because it's been edited that much, with people editing it with jokes and memes from the situation. I'll put one of the variations that's been saved of it on screen now. Well, this was fairly lighthearted with memes and jokes until users started posting various screenshots out of Verbalase's Discord, with him making quite a lot of controversial comments and statements, which I'll go through now. Keep in mind there'll be some missing context for these, but I think you can get the general idea of what's going on throughout. The first one of the screenshots has Verbalase posting an image of "Go woke, go broke," sort of setting the scene for the later messages that take place. The next one includes a message that reads, "When I went to Disneyland in 2018, it was so cool to be there. I was showing Elsa and all the other characters my voice impressions. There was no preaching about gender and gay stuff. It was literally a family-friendly place." After this, he posted an image of someone I assume was at Disney and replied later saying, "A lot of parents are very upset with Disney. This is a person who said they identify as female. You can see why a lot of people have a problem with this. It's like, keep your personal beliefs to yourself, but don't confuse the kids who are just trying to be normal. Even if the kid likes a lot of boy stuff, still let them be normal." The next set of messages I think were the ones a lot of people took more issue with. It reads, "It's adult material, but it's true. Don't force your views on people, especially kids. Everybody has a right to pick what they want to be. So if there's people out there that want to pretend to be girls, that's fine, but don't expect everybody to believe in what you believe in, or even play along with what you decide to do, because some people would just find that stuff really weird and they're entitled to it." Underneath, there's also a video of Andrew Tate with Verbalase quoting it saying, "This guy says it all." The next page has quite a few. It reads, "If somebody was a cross-dresser, they were a cross-dresser. If somebody was gay, they were gay. If somebody was straight, they were straight. Nobody had to come out and say they identified as something. It's freaking stupid. It's the whole identify thing that needs to be gone entirely. When I grew up, nobody ever had to state what they identify as because it's blatantly obvious. As long as they don't try and force their views on me, we'll always be friends. I also have friends who are gay, trans, etc. Don't treat them any different." It doesn't get much better from here, with him saying, "Like I said, role-playing is fine, but when you take that role-playing seriously and literally think you're a girl in real life and try to mentally portray yourself that way, you're gonna end up hurting yourself in the long run, because you're lying to yourself about who you are." There's a lot of parents out there who respectfully want to keep all that stuff away from their kids, but it's being forced on kids when kids aren't even thinking about any of that stuff. They just want to be a regular kid and do regular things, but people are trying to confuse them by saying, "Hey, if you like this color, maybe you're actually a girl." He goes on to say, "Well, that's the thing. When you bring up real facts and scientific proof to help prove your point, these people don't want to hear it because they would rather keep themselves in this mental state they have put themselves in. It's almost like when somebody is making a point in an argument, you talk over them because you don't want to hear the truth come out. I don't think a man should get into a fist fight with a woman just because he says he identifies as a girl and ends up killing her. That's effed up. I don't think a man should go into a female public bathroom just because he says he identifies as a girl." He then starts talking about the Olympics, saying, "I'm a feminist, I believe in equal rights, but in a way where it's respectful for both women and men. I don't believe men should be in female Olympics. In fact, I think it's disrespecting women in my opinion. That's because even though they say they identify as female, they're still 100% male. So their DNA and body structure are going to be different than female. So if you have a bulked up male competing in women's Olympics just because he says he identifies as a female, how is that fair to biological women?" Afterwards he says, "Like, I don't like people pretending to be girls when they're not. If it's a role-playing thing, it's still weird but understandable. I think if it was just joking around, then that's fine, but when you try and pretend to be another person in real life, that's when there's a deep-rooted issue that needs to get solved. You should never hate what you're being born as. You should never hate who you are. You cannot force your opinions on other people. Not everybody is going to agree with your personal choices, so it's best to keep the conversation neutral, or if someone says something that you don't agree with, you can respectfully disagree and still keep everything positive." He goes on to talk more about this, saying, "Now if people feel like they want to be gay, straight, whatever, that's their own personal choice, but they should never try to pretend to be something they are not, like identifying as a toaster or an alien from outer space. Role-playing is fine, but actually taking the whole role-playing thing seriously can make people question a person's sanity." It finally all ends with him stating, "So I'll say it again, if you wish to be a girl, girl but you were born a boy, you should make peace with that. But if you try to lie and say you identify as something else or pretend to be something else, you're lying to yourself and those around you. If you accept who you are but feel different, that's fine, but don't lie to yourself. All it's going to do is bring negativity into your life. I'm born African American, I'm proud to be who I am. If for a moment I feel like I wish to be someone or something else, I'm trying to escape my own personal life. It's a mental illness to wish to not be yourself. You don't get to choose who you get to be when you're born. That's just your fortune. And I say fortune because everybody is born unique. Everybody has a uniqueness that only they alone can have. Nobody else can be us, and when you try to be somebody else, we lose our self-value or self-worth and our self-respect. As you can see, the messages just kind of get worse and worse as you go through them, so I kind of see why it's being made such a big deal of. Regardless if you agree or disagree, this kind of thing is completely off-brand and not the kind of stuff you'd want to put into your Discord server at all, especially given the kind of audience you're cultivating will be fairly younger, since all the videos you're making are centered on cartoon characters. On Verbalase's latest video, he's also gone and privated all the comments. This is clearly due to a lot of the other videos getting comments flooded with people talking about the animation and his messages over on Discord. All in all, the situation is a mess, and I'm not sure how or if Verbalase will end up responding to all this. Regardless if he does or not, it'll be a permanent mark on his previously clean record. I hadn't heard or watched a whole lot of him previously, but it was unfortunate to read all the messages from someone I thought would have been fairly wholesome. Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to subscribe and let me know what you think about this situation down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.